class of 70, Quentin here. After high school, I eventually got my master's degree in kinesiology and human performance at Kansas State University. I went back to Kansas City and I worked with Gilbert Robinson managing Plaza 3, Annie Santa Fe, and then Houlihan's nationwide. And then I lived in Aspen and Newport Beach for a few years, skiing and surfing and being just a bum. But I ended up with Ross Perot in Dallas, Texas, and then went to Xerox Corporation, where I was the vice president managing the Western U.S. Well, at the same time, I had met Leslie, 35, we've been married for 35 years, built a home in Dallas, and we got married first, built a home in Dallas, and had 3 incredible children, Sean, Lauren, and Lindsay. And then we moved to San Diego, just to be closer to my work and all. And the kids all grew up on the beach. It was 2001. I had a health scare and I retired from the corporate career to get myself healthy and to pursue the true passion in my life, which was health and fitness. 2 years ago, on my 67th birthday, my son and I climbed the Half Dome in Yosemite together. I've never felt more fit and more alive than I am today. I have a healthy aging workshop and a monthly newsletter all about being and doing your bucket list. So we decided we're going to travel and continue to live life out loud.
Hi, this is Patty Albright Scott. I feel like I should say something wise right now, but in this journey of life that we've never experienced before, it's left me speechless. I'm out here at Shawnee Mission Park, where I work on some of the weekends. 50 years, wow, doesn't seem possible. And after graduating, my cousin Sarah and I went to Baker University. I studied education and came back to the Kansas City area. I taught in Lawrence, Kansas for a while, moved to Overland Park, raised 4 children, went back to teaching, and now I am currently the director of a Christian preschool and child care center. I'm a widow, but keep busy with 8 grandchildren, 6 right here in the area. I'm really sorry we didn't get together and that our plans didn't happen, but I do want to thank Carol Kane, Nan Barry, and Rosie Seiler for working so hard. And now I want to thank Quentin Marshall and Glenda Bono for working and doing this for us. Life as we knew it is ever changing, but I hope and pray we can see each other next year. And until then, hail, O Center High School friends. God bless. Take care and be safe.
Hello, Yellow Jackets. Happy 50th. My name is Pam Barry Davis, and even though we can't come together, we can gather on Zoom. Well, since I graduated from Center, I've attended several universities, getting my master's in education, and additionally, I received certification as a National Board professional teacher. I retired early in 2020, wow, a big year, from teaching. And prior to my teaching profession, I worked for the federal government in Kansas City and in Jacksonville, Florida, with my favorite position as a congressional liaison. I'm married for 41 years to my college sweetheart from Baker University. I am the proud mother of 2 adult children who live here in South Florida. I have 3 beautiful grandchildren who are an integral part of our lives. We've traveled in many areas of the country, from sea to shining sea. We've even gone to Alaska and Hawaii. And prior to the pandemic, my husband and I did a bucket list, traveling through the Panama Canal, into Easter Island in the beautiful South Pacific, and to the end of the world, the southern tip of South America. I've been truly blessed, having received a quality education from Center Senior High School. I thank the administration like Mr. Banica, Mr. Barrow, Mr. Keechler, and our teachers, and you, my peers, who inspired me to reach to the greatest goals we can imagine.
Hi, I'm Susan Goldenberg Wolf. I had an idyllic childhood, lived across the street from Boone School, and really enjoyed especially 5th and 6th grade with all the plays and the carnivals and things like that. Headed to Mizzou after high school and went into teaching. I met my husband, Mark. He is from St. Louis, University City. We moved to St. Louis and later to Chesterfield. We had two wonderful children, Amy, who's almost 42, and Steve, 37. And we have two wonderful grandsons and a sheepadoodle grandpuppy. I taught since 1973 in first the Hazelwood School District and later the Clayton School District, and did a play just about every year because I really strongly believed in it and had 5th and 6th grade teachers that were great. I retired in '09 and taught at Maryville University and worked with kids going into teaching. And then we have been traveling up until this last year and just been with friends and family, and now I'm volunteering as well. Anyway, thanks.
I'm Thomas. First and foremost, I want to thank all the coaches, the teachers, my loving parents for bringing me up, get me started on my life. If we look back 50 years ago and said this is where I'd be, I'd have scratched my head and said no way. But here I am. After high school, Navy, 4-year stint, got out. Thanks to the Neustadt family, I got my career started in consumer electronics. There I worked all my working life until I retired from Canon after 18 years. I was married for 41 years, divorced, got 2 lovely sons, beautiful daughter-in-laws, and 4 wonderful grandchildren. Things are going good. I'm sorry we all couldn't get together. I hope to see you all soon. I'm glad we're all still here alive. I would like to take a moment and thank my cameraman. Flip the phone around. No, do that.
Hi, I'm Linda Idy Frank. After high school, I attended UMKC, where I earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in studio art. And a couple of years later, I was working at Crown Center, and I reconnected with one of our classmates, Jim Frank. We dated for 8 months, and then we got married. 5 years after that, we had our daughter, Lindsay, and 4 years later, we had our son, Mike. I've always been in travel. For 41 years, I've been in travel. And in the beginning, Jim and I owned a travel agency for 7 years. And when we sold that, we then also divorced at that same year. So I spent the next 20 years being a mom and raising a family. And our children have blessed us both with being married and having grandchildren. We have 2 grandsons. 1 6 and 1 3.5, and we have a granddaughter who's 2.5, and another granddaughter on the way this December. When I have time, I like to quilt, and I'm also a cat mom, and I love being a grandma. That's the best hobby ever, and I'm looking forward to retiring soon. And I've had a wonderful life, and I hope you have too.
Hello, class of 1970. I'm Carol Vetter Kane, and I have to say I loved our high school experience. I loved Boone Elementary and Center North. So I guess that's why I enjoyed working on the reunion so much over all these years. And I've got to say, we were really sorry to cancel. After high school, I went to MU, pledged a sorority, loved my college years, and graduated with a degree in education. And I became a PE teacher. I was always kind of a tomboy growing up. Some of you might not have known that about me, but I loved being a PE teacher, and I taught for 44 years. I started at Lee Summit High School, was there, and I was a gymnastics coach. And then when my family moved to Shawnee Mission area, I became an elementary PE teacher. And so 44 years was a lot of time, but I felt so blessed because I really loved my job. And hopefully I made a small impact on a few kids along the way. I was married for 37 years when my husband was killed in a car crash in Colorado with his dad. We have 3 beautiful children. I don't have any grandchildren, but we had a pandemic wedding this summer for our youngest child. So we'll never forget that with all of us in masks. I am still substitute teaching, so now it's pandemic style. And I love golf, tennis. I love to read. I love to travel. And I guess I'd like to remind all of us, now that we're 68 or almost 68, That's really the new 48, so I hope that you realize we've got a lot of years left in us. I'm hoping that you'll stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless to all of you.
Hi, classmates. This is Keith Fowler. I can't believe it's been 50 years. I still live in Kansas City. I live north of the river. I have 4 children, 3 boys, 1 daughter, 7 grandchildren, 5 girls, 2 boys. I guess besides family and grandkids, the other things that I'm proud of, I officiated college basketball for 40 years, from NCAA Division II on down to high school. I was one of the major basketball assigners in the Kansas City area for basketball, and I worked for the Kansas City Royals on game day operation from 2009 to 2014. Well, hope to see you all soon. It's great to see you, and thank you for the 50-year class committee and the Zoom committee to put all this together. We appreciate everything that you've done.
Hi, I'm Christy White. I currently live in Lincoln, California, which is a suburb of Sacramento. After high school, I went down to Springfield and became a nurse. And then I came back to Kansas City and worked for about 20 years at Children's Mercy Hospital. And then I worked for pharma for the next 20 years. I was a clinical research associate. I monitored clinical studies of drugs that weren't approved by the FDA. And I worked for like Wyeth, Pharmacia, AstraZeneca, Merck. I worked for a lot of pharmas. I had a chance to travel. I got to go to Russia for 6 weeks. I've been to Rome to sing for the Pope John Paul. I've been on Mediterranean and Caribbean cruises. I've been to the French Riviera, Cannes for weeks, and have just genuinely enjoyed it. I've really had a good time. Thank you.
Greetings, class of 1970. This is Allison Martin Leone. It's sure hard to believe that it's been 50 years since we graduated. Guess that means we're pretty old. Although I won't be able to join you on Sunday, I'll be thinking of everyone. I hope you are all in good health. Keep wearing a mask, practice social distancing, and hopefully next year we can get together in person. Until then, stay safe. Go Chiefs!
Hi, it's Mike Caffrey. I never strayed very far from the original homestead. I live here in Leewood South Subdivision with my wife Mary Ann. I've got 2 children. My son Tom is a outfitter and a fly fishing guide in Montana. He teaches high school science at one of the high schools in Helena, Montana. My daughter, Kelly, lives about a mile away with her 3 sons and husband. She runs a business called Brightside Speakers Bureau. I'm still working doing commercial real estate finance. I guess I just don't have enough hobbies. Want to ask you all a question. How many people remember the senior ditch day at the Caffrey farm and lake? Anyway, hope to see you soon. Stay well. Thanks.
Hi, it's Susan Evans, and I wanted to let you know what's been happening to me for the last 50 years. After high school, I went to Washburn University, and my freshman year, I lived with Debbie Sloan, good friend Debbie. Hi, Deb. After that, I moved to Colorado to follow my passion for skiing and to go to graduate school. And I went to the University of Northern Colorado. Then I became a mental health therapist. I worked in that field for a number of years, met my husband and had my daughter, Lindsay. And then when she was about 5 years old, we moved back to Kansas City, and I started pursuing my career in medical sales. And for the next 25 years, I worked in medical sales and sales management for some very large corporations, including Johnson & Johnson, Quest Diagnostics, IDEXX Laboratories. And then about 6 years ago, I decided to do something totally different, and I am now publishing community magazines, doing something much more fun and local. And it gives me plenty of time to spend with my 3 amazing grandsons and be involved in their lives and their sports, and with my daughter, Lindsay, and my son-in-law, Aaron, and my husband, Barry.
Hello, I'm Kate Chamberlain. In high school, my last name was Strickland. I am retired from the Community Blood Center where I worked in human resources. I now live in Altoona, Iowa, which is just outside of Des Moines. I have 1 daughter and 2 sons, 5 granddaughters, and 5 grandsons. The grandchildren range in age from 4 to 21. I enjoy spending time with my family. I also sew, especially quilting, and I'm learning how to watercolor paint. I hope to see everyone at the reunion. Goodbye.
Hi, I'm Glenda Thompson, and I live in Henderson, Nevada with my husband, Paul Bona. I have 2 adult kids and 3 grandkids, and they all live in California, so that means we spend a fair amount of time on the road going back and forth. But I wanted to shoot this in one of my favorite places in Las Vegas, which is at the Cooperative Extension, where I am a Master Gardener and the chair of the Master Gardener Herb Committee. This is just a quick peek at some of our herb gardens that are on campus. I work in Las Vegas for the Department of Family Services teaching parenting. We used to do this in schools and recreation centers all over the city, but since the pandemic shut us down, we're now doing it on Zoom. So I've become a PowerPoint queen, learning how to translate all of our classroom materials into virtual learning. That's been a trip. So if you're coming to Vegas, let me know. For whatever reason you come, I'll meet you on the Strip, and then I'll introduce you to places that you never thought you'd see in Southern Nevada. Thanks, guys.